Okay, it is 5 o'clock PM on Tuesday, April 21st, 2026. I'll call this annual town meeting, the town of LaPointe, to order. Welcome, everyone. I hope everyone has signed in, and if not, please do so before you leave. The first order of business is the 2025 financial report. There was a modification to the debt, the final page, the debt page. It ends up that we have actually for our remaining debt limit, it's 80,000, roughly $80,000 more than what was in the original piece. So there was some calculation corrections to that. Does anyone have any questions about the 2025 financial report? You can try to answer.
Like the total at the bottom. It doesn't. No.
Yeah.
So like about seeing like any totals, did it go okay?
Do you have the final? I haven't seen the updated. I still have the old one. I have the updated that sheet, but not the updated.
So the net revenue taxes was a $630,000 positive. That's why that was carried to the countries.
And when at the meeting in December, we knew there would be, how much? We actually didn't, we think there was gonna be more.
I
800?
think you might be right on that.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was about 800,000. So it turns out to be less than what we had planned.
I think that's gonna be okay. Let me see.
So, instead of, yeah, the budget is balanced. We do have some things in the budget that we don't expect are going to be used. So, anyhow, sorry that we didn't have the totals down there for you.
Has the 2025 audit been done yet, or that also coming? So there's still could be some.
Yeah.
Any other questions, John?
Yeah, on the general fund, part of page 9. And the third down from the bottom is the part miscellaneous expenses. It was budgeted for $17,000 in 2025, and it looks like we spent 41,000.
Yeah, John, and what that is, and you'll see an offsetting donation in the revenue side. And that's for the repaving of the tennis courts that the trails folks paid. Yeah, they paid about 20,000. And so the 20,000 shows up in revenue, or 19,900 in revenue. And then, so that's the other, so that whole thing, right, it was like 38,000. So that's where the 41 came from.
And on the next page, page 11, and down, it's the gravel site capital outlay, budgeted 10 grand and the actual 63,000.
Where's he looking?
On page 11, the second line item.
That's the, we have a loan from the county.
Okay.
And that's supposed to be 31,000 per year. That was 10 years, 2019. There's a journal entry in there for some reason, I don't know why. So it should be, the actual should, if we were paying our bills on time, the actual would have been 31,000. And there's a journal entry in the auditors and corrected that to 55,000. And I don't know why, I don't know if they're paying that if we were behind before and we had to catch up, I don't want to. This is related to the travel one from the county.
Thanks, John. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Do we need a motion on this, Alex, to accept the financial report? I don't see that. Okay. All right, moving on then to the minutes. We've got 3 sets of minutes to approve: the annual town meeting from April 15th, the special town meeting from July 8th, and another special town meeting from December 4th. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Can we do them all at once?
I think so.
I'll make a motion to approve the annual meeting minutes from April 15th, 25, and the special town meeting minutes from July 8th, 25, and the special town meeting minutes from December 4th, 25.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Comment, okay, comment?
Is, in last year's April 15th, motion by Sue Brennan to approve, this is on page 1 of the town minutes of April 16th, 2025. December 5th, 2024, seconded by misspelled.
Oh,
It's a good combo of your name.
exactly. All right.
Steve.
I bet it was. Okay, so noted. Okay, with that correction, any other comments? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Old business. I don't know that we had old business but if anybody has any old business that we should discuss, would be the time. Okay. New business, topics from the people. Anybody have any new business that they'd like to talk about? Jim?
Speaker.
Know that, last time I brought this up on the sidewalk. When I was on vacation around the corner there, they didn't want to put concrete in because they couldn't get easement from landowners, and also it involved putting up Nirvana's cables in there. Kevin Ferguson mentioned that they could possibly do a boardwalk type walkways through there to keep people out of the street. In summertime, there's people all the time walking on that street in that corridor, and it's just a matter of time until someone gets hurt and the town gets sued. And rather than spend money on that, I prefer they spend some money on trying to put a boardwalk in that area to keep people off the street. Make it safe.
Thank you, Jim.
Well, that's a county road. Why would the town get sued? It's a county road.
Well, whatever. Jim and Evan has mentioned that as well to us. And I think that the consensus that I've heard is that that would be a great idea. It'd be a lot less expensive than the concrete. You probably wouldn't have to, tear out, trees and whatnot, but I think we should probably look at that in terms of next year's budget. This came up very recently as an idea that was presented to us. So I think it's a good idea. And so I think we will look forward.
It came up recently, it came up last year at the annual meeting that Evan mentioned that. I guess nothing's been done.
I don't know about that.
It's in the minutes.
I think there's anything about it for.
And nothing about.
Okay. Any other new businesses? And Jim, did you want to make any sort of motion on that?
As long as the town board is aware of it and they'll follow through and try to get this done. Maybe next year, you don't have money to do it this year. Like you say, they can appropriate the money in the budget for next year. Get that done.
I think the town board does want to do that. And not that specific thing of the boardwalk, but take care of that problem at that corner. But I think we all recognize it is potential safety issue. And we've been somewhat stymied in the past to deal with it. So I do think we now do have a viable option. So thank you for raising that again. Any other new business? Okay, is there a motion to adjourn? We don't have to.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Opposed?